What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Orozco Body and Mind podcast. I'm your host, Chris Orozco. And first of all, I want to start by saying thank you for the people that have tuned in and were able to watch some of the episodes. It really means a lot. I'm honestly just trying to just share as much wisdom that I've gained up to this point in my life to be able to inspire others to make the necessary changes in their life. So it starts a domino effect, and we can improve just many lives with how we work on ourselves and how we become the better version of ourselves each and every single day. So thank you. Today, I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on my story and some of the changes I've been able to make from where I used to be to where I am now. And it's not for, to sound cocky or arrogant or to sound like I'm better than anybody else. I just really want to tell my story because I feel like there's somebody out there who can relate and could, slowly start changing their lives for the better because it wasn't an easy road. And, to be able to look back in my life to where I was to where I am now. And I'm not saying that this is the end road for me, but I'm very proud of myself to be able to make some changes. And hopefully, I'm able to inspire you to do the same if you're struggling, if you are at a low point in your life, if you are just feeling down. I just want to let you know that I've been there before, and sometimes we need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's getting nicer out. It's about to be spring, so hopefully, this could lead you to the light, and we can keep working on ourselves each and every single day. So I wanted to share the lowest point of my life, and that had to do when I was right after college. Um, with 3 weeks left of graduation in college, I went to I went to smoke with a friend. I was into drinking, I was into smoking in college. Um, I had an extra semester to do, so after college basketball, I kind of got in those bad habits of smoking, drinking. Anyways, I went to smoke with a friend. I thought it was just gonna be, a regular joint, and it was honestly, um, and I even think about it now, it was an extremely difficult time because when I went to smoke with the kid, they had put PCP in the joint, which is angel dust. If you know anything about angel dust, it's a drug that really could paralyze your thinking, and it can make you do things, it can make you hallucinate, it can make you do things that aren't real. You could just it's really really bad drug for you, and I didn't know I was smoking it. I guess they laced it. Anyways, I went to smoke it that night. I smoked it, and 10 minutes later, I went back to my room and I immediately thought I was going to die. I mean, it was the hardest, like hour, 2 hours, being in this in this drug. It was just extremely, extremely difficult. I mean, that night I was in my room and I was just curled up in a ball, and I literally couldn't think. I didn't know what to do. And it was, I mean, talking about it right now, it's just very, very difficult. But it's not even just that night. Then the following weeks, 2, 3 weeks later, I was hallucinating. I was in Long Island, and I would take the train to New York City with no money, and I would just tell people that I was meeting famous people, that I was meeting all these crazy artists, that I was making music. I was just making no sense at all. And it wasn't the truth. And a lot of people were getting annoyed with me, angry at me. And, anyways, I was put in a psych ward hospital unit, and I was there for about a week. You can't leave the psych ward on your own under your own power. You have to wait until, like, they sign you out. So I was literally stuck there. Anyways, my dad came and got me, and this was at the end of 2016, and the whole 2017, for about 8 months, I was in my house, and I did not leave for weeks at a time. I mean, I was just walking around I wasn't even walking, I was laying down in the couch and having so many negative thoughts. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my future. I didn't know. And these are the thoughts that I was having every single day for 8 months. I didn't know how I was going to live my life. I didn't know. I had no inspiration, no motivation. I knew there was something wrong because I didn't even listen to music. I mean, something about me is that I love music, and I wasn't even listening to music. Friends that would reach out to me, I would just not answer. I would ignore them. I gained about 35 to 40 pounds. I mean, it was a really, really dark time. I wasn't working out. Excuse me. I wasn't. It was as low as it can go, and my parents would be so worried about me. They would ask me all these things, if I needed to see somebody, if I needed to, you know just anything to make me happier. But there was no life in me. I was so depressed, so lonely. And, my peers were just graduating college, and most of them, they were able to get some jobs. So just what I felt was like, man, everybody's moving on in life, and I have nobody but myself to, you know, do things. And it was really, really, really lonely. Anyways, this happened for about 8 months. Um, and I've shared in previous podcasts that um, they said I was bipolar. And, when you're bipolar, you have to take medicine. What they say is for the rest of your life, you have to go to a psychiatrist, and he provides medicine. Anyways, it's something that it's no longer, for 1 or 2 months, but this condition could happen for the rest of your life. So that happened for about 8 months. Then in towards the end of 2017, there was this lady that came to my house, and I don't know if it was an angel. I don't know who it was, but she said there's depression in this house. And as soon as she said that, I was able to hear her, and I knew she came for me. I knew that God sent her to help me heal myself. She prayed for me for about 15 minutes. I've said this before. And then she gave me a $50 bill, and I said, "No, I don't want your money. You just pray for me." She goes, "No, no, no, it's not from me. It's from God." And when she said that, I got the chills. And then she said, "In a few weeks, you're going to get an offer." And, at the time, I had no job, no money, no motivation. I was overweight. And a week later, I'll never forget, somebody in my town called me for a basketball training job. Anyways, I was around 23 when this happened. And I was good for a few years, and then in 2000, when I was 26, it happened again because I didn't take my medicine. So I was in and out of the hospitals. I spent my 26th birthday in a psych ward. I would leave my house at midnight and to go to really bad towns and just walk around, or like just not treating my life with respect. I was drinking, I was smoking, I was eating unhealthy, I wasn't disciplined. I mean, I could go on and on and on with all these things. Um, and I would say that when I started turning 20, when I was 28, um, something in me um, said, I need to live a better life. I need to make the necessary changes. I need to just start working on myself slowly. So, the first thing that I wanted to do, and it started with me, was my body. You know, let's start getting exercise in. Let's start building, the body that functions better. Let's start losing weight. Let's start eating better. And I slowly started to make those changes. I started going to the gym more consistently. I started being more active. I started just working on my body. Once I got my body right, now it's about my mind. What can I do for my mind to improve? So I started to read a little bit more. I started getting some personal growth books. I started watching things, podcasts that would help me gain some wisdom, books that were gonna inspire me, motivate me. I started looking at videos, same thing to help me improve myself. And I started thinking differently a little bit, like looking at the positive things in life. Obviously, there's always positives and there's always negatives, but it's always good to look at the positive side of things. It's like the cup, half empty, half full. Which perspective are you looking at it from? There's always good and there's always bad. Which mindset are you willing to pick? So I started reading more. I started, going to the gym more. And then I got introduced to meditation when I was 29. And I go to this meditation center that I had met somebody through. And I got introduced to meditation, and meditation has been a tool that has been around for many years, and it takes time. It's not easy to sit with your own thoughts. It's not easy to just follow your breath. It's not easy to just take the time out of your day to just sit and observe. A lot of us want to do things. A lot of us want to uh, have our mind occupied. But the idea about, or to just sit in silence, a lot of people are scared of their own thoughts. Anyways, in 2000, when I was 29, I got introduced, or 28, I got introduced to meditation, and I started adding it to my routine. Then it was about slowly staying consistent, right? Anybody could do things for a week, anybody could do things for a month, but are you willing to do it for a year? Are you willing to do it for 5 years? Are you willing to do it for 10, 15, 20 years? That's really what it takes every single day. It's not just, once in a while when we feel like it, but are we willing to do the things we need to do, even when we're tired, even when we're sore, even when we have a bad day? Like, that's what it takes to be great at anything. So I started really working on my mind. I started working on my body. I started seeing things from the positive side, even to the music that I listen to now. It's to be in alignment to a better me. And it's the mindset we have to have. I mean, it's not just, if we could, have a healthy body, if we could have a healthy mind, this is what's going to take us to the next level. I also I stopped drinking. I haven't drank since December 7th, 2024. And I'm not talking about just like a little bit. I completely haven't even had a sip of alcohol. I mean, I used to drink, I think I told you guys, on the weekends all the time, and I haven't had one sip. I mean, I feel so much better from my mind being clear, from my body feeling better. I've been getting better sleep. I've been able to, do the necessary habits to cut out alcohol. My mornings when I wake up, right? I don't feel hungover. I don't feel like I'm behind, but I use that motivation. In the mornings to go to the gym and get a workout, and because I don't have to be hungover or lethargic or whatever the alcohol does, for us. So it's important to cut these things. I don't smoke. I don't do any drugs. And that's really how I found my purpose, because I wanted to share what I've learned with many people. And, I'm not saying that I'm some superhuman, because I'm not. I make mistakes all the time, but I've slowly started to make the necessary changes to improve my life. And I've also, one of the most important changes that I've also made is being able to, or I stopped watching pornography completely. I was somebody who was spilling my energy out all the time. I was somebody who would watch, once in a while, but I've completely cut that off. I've completely just been locked into my goals, into my habits. And, so from where I used to be to where I am now, I've made some improvement and necessary changes in my life. And I just want others, especially men, to be able to feel good about themselves, feel healthy, with a strong body, with a strong mind, and just improve themselves each and every single day. And we can do it. We can certainly do it. Remember, it's about the mindset, it's about the attitude, it's about the discipline, it's about doing things the right way, and slowly working ourselves, working on the things we need to work on each and every single day. So, guys, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's not easy. Life is not easy. It's the journey. We have a grand opportunity when we're born to be able to live this wonderful, wonderful life. And it's what we do in those years from the moment we are born to the moment when we die. And it's what we do in between that's gonna help our lives improve. I mean, this grand opportunity we have to work on ourselves each and every single day and make the necessary changes, improve the values, improve the qualities in our life, and great things could come out of that. So, anyways, I just wanted to give you guys some inspiration today, some motivation, and hopefully I've been able to touch your heart. And I'm speaking to that person who is lonely. I'm speaking to that person who has no motivation, because I've been there before. And I'm telling you, the you have all the desire to improve yourselves in your heart. Find your heart, and good things could happen. So I'll be back next week with a little bit of a different topic. I hope that you guys have been staying on your goals, staying on your habits. I wish you guys nothing but the best, and I hope my story, part of my story, has been inspiring for some of you to improve yourselves. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.